But let's get to that epic battle between USC and Utah.
4-2 in the lead. Rising up the middle. He's in! Utah leads. Caleb Williams sees the pressure, has to bail, has to throw it quickly. When will it land? Where will it land? Incomplete. Utah wins.
What a nightcap that was. That was a great college football game, on par with Tennessee and Alabama when you really think about it. Now, granted, it didn't have the scene, although the scene in Salt Lake was epic. Sold out, biggest crowd that they've ever had at Rice Eccles. They had the blackout going. They were honoring Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe, obviously, with those epic helmets. That was a great college football game. And man, I loved every moment of it. These two quarterbacks on those two sidelines played unbelievable. Cameron Rising for Utah, and on the other side, Caleb Williams for USC. These two guys were an absolute pleasure to watch. And I will say, USC is ahead of schedule. I just didn't believe that USC in Lincoln Riley's first year, even with how well it's gone so far, I didn't think that they were going to go into Salt Lake and take Utah to the brink like that. I didn't think that, right? I didn't think that they were going to have... I thought it was a bad matchup for them. I didn't think their defense would play that well, in particular against the run, even though they didn't play great. I understand that. But they forced Cameron Rising to have to throw the ball exceptionally well, which he did, by the way, for over 400 yards. So USC ahead of schedule, and still right there in the Pac-12, and still certainly right in the thick of things. But Utah, I loved the performance. A week after losing, they've lost 2 games, and they still lay it on the line like that. That quarterback, Cam Rising, I tell you what, man, that dude is a good player. And I love what Kyle Whittingham did at the end. It's not just about the 2-point play, but it's the acknowledgement that his player can make the play, and he doesn't want to extend the game for the other one on the other side, right? Like, we get into these moments where it's like at some point you just got to go, who's got the ball last? Let's go make a play. He's at home and he goes for the win, and I love it. I think Kyle Whittingham is one of the most underrated and best coaches in all of college football, and I continued to put Utah in my top 10. Part of the reason is that even with 2 losses, I still think they're a top 10 team. This is a really good football team. By the way, this should speak volumes for how good UCLA is for beating them and kind of handling them. When I look at my top 10, Utah still is in my top 10. They're my 10th best team. TCU at 9, Ole Miss 8, UCLA 7, Bama 6, Clemson, Michigan, UGA, Tennessee, and Ohio State. More on that in a moment. But Utah is still right there. And I got to tell you, that performance from both of those quarterbacks, I just thought was absolutely epic. Now, when you look at the Pac-12 moving forward, it presents just an unbelievable game this weekend. UCLA and Oregon, now they're going to play. Those are the 2 teams that are undefeated in conference. And there you've got Utah and you've got USC, and they're sitting there with 1 loss. All 4 of them battling it out. The winner of this week's game, boy, they're going to be a full game ahead of anybody in the conference and put themselves in such a great position to wind up in that conference championship game. Remember, no divisions this year in the Pac-12, so the winner of that UCLA-Oregon game is going to put themselves in a great position. USC, you ain't out of it. Utah, you ain't out of it. This is going to be a great end of the year for the Pac-12. I don't know if they're going to get a playoff team, but you know what? I'm just going to try to enjoy it for what it is, which is great football, which is exactly what it was on Saturday with Caleb Williams and Cameron Rising.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.